Okay, today we're going to do the My IT Labs grader assignment from the WordGrader assignment. So you're going to go to, excuse me, My IT Labs, go to Course Materials, go into the My IT Labs Word folder, MS Word folder, and under WordGrader 2, Word Chapter 2 Grader Project, we're going to open this. Apparently I'm just allowed to do this twice. I'll set it to 3 times. So we want to download the files. So we're going to download the instructions. And we're just going to open those. And it should be opening any moment. We're also going to download the document that we start with. Alright, so both of those should be opening. Here's the instructions and here's the document that we're starting with. So I'm going to increase the size of these so that they're easier to see. Okay. Now you can see when you look at this, they've got each step and the instructions and the points that you get for this, right? So the first step, which we've already completed, is start Word, open the Word file named Explorer _WO2 _grader _IR. And you get no points for that, sorry. So, now what we want to do is we can minimize this window here from My IT Labs. We can minimize this one and we can close and return this one. So all that we need open are this window and the instructions. I have the instructions over here and I'll move them over each time I show you a new one. The first thing you want to do is save this to a location where you're going to be able to find it. So you go File, Save As, and just save it to your desktop if you don't have another place that you intend to put it. I can't tell you how many times that I've had people not save this and have to do it all over again. Right? So I saved it to the desktop. Now we're going to look at the first instruction. And it's change the font of all of the text in the document to Bookman Old Style, and we get 4 points for that. Okay? So I'm going to select all the text and all the document. Now look at how State University is on one line. I tell you that for a reason, because in the next step it'll be important that it changes to two lines when we change the text in the document. So we've selected all the text, and then I'm going to go down here to find Bookman Old Style. There's Bookman Old Style. I select that and I've completed the first step. And when I click the Save button, scroll back to the top. See now how State University is on 2 separate lines. Okay, so now it says write a line, the first 3 lines of text in the document. Well, now it's actually the 4 lines, because State University used to be on 1 line, now it's on 2. And state and ending with personal safety on the campus, and apply bold. We're going to right align this and apply bold formatting to these 3 lines, right? So we're going to select these lines here. It's actually 4 lines now. We're going to embolden them. And then over here under the paragraph section, we're going to right align, which would be click this button right here, right align. And they do this. Okay? Then click Save again. Then we'll go to the next instruction, which is replace the hyphen between the years 2011 and 2012 in the first paragraph with a non-breaking hyphen. Now this is a little bit of an obscure task, but You might find yourself doing all kinds of obscure tasks when you're working with Word in the future, and maybe you won't use a non-breaking hyphen, but you may find yourself using some other strange character, and this is going to help you to find stuff like this. So we're going to remove the hyphen that's there. Now there's two different ways to do this. I'm going to show you one way and tell you the other way. So we're going to go to the Insert tab, over to Symbols, go down to More Symbols. When this opens up, we're going to go to Special Characters, and we're going to select Non-Breaking Hyphen. And it tells us right here that we could also, under non-breaking hyphen, our shortcut key is Control Shift and the hyphen key. Okay, so you could hit Control Shift hyphen, or do it the way I just showed you here. And I hit Insert, and it inserts it, and then we got to close this window. So we've completed that step. The next step is insert a non-breaking space following the area code 555 and the phone number at the end of the first paragraph. So it's the same idea, non-breaking space. We're going to get right here, and then I'm going to go to Insert, which I'm already on that tab, Symbol, More Symbols, Special Character, and non-breaking space. And again, with that, I could use a shortcut key combination of Control Shift Space. I'm going to go Insert and Close. Now I'm going to mention to you that I'm doing this on Office 2013, and it does work on Office 2013. If there are parts of this that you have problems with, whether you're using Office 2013 or Office for the Mac, complete all the steps that you can and save it as a Word doc, and then go back and redo the steps. Make a note to yourself which steps you have to redo, and go back and do it on a PC in the library or in one of the labs, and you'll be fine. Okay, so the next step is justify all the headings in the body of the text beginning with overview and change the line spacing to 1.15. So we're going to select all the text beginning with overview. Okay, so we've got all the text. Now, I'll point out to you here, if you look at the edge of the paragraph on the left-hand side, it's nice and smooth, and on the right it's jagged. And let's go back to the Home tab, and that's going to be left aligned. And justified is right here. Justified is more like a newspaper, and it's straight on both sides, right? So again, the shortcut key is Control J, or we can click this right here. Now you can see how the paragraphs look nice and smooth on both sides, more like a newspaper. And we have to change the line spacing to 1.15. That's right here. And that completes that step. Okay? I'm highlighting these as we go through. It makes it a little easier to keep track of where we are. Select the 5 lines of text under important numbers and set the left aligned tab stops at 0.5, 2.0, and 3.0. And that's 9 points. So we're going to go down here to important numbers. That's at the bottom. I just want to select just this. Now I need the paragraph formatting box open. So I can right click over this like this and go to paragraph right here, and that'll work just fine. And then once this box here is open, I'm going to click on the tabs. Okay, now I have to set some tab stops here. Okay, and we're just going to enter the numbers that were on the instruction sheet, and that's all there is to it. 0.5 set, 2.0 set, 3.0 set, and then say OK. And you can see how it changes the way this paragraph here looks, right? And then again, click Save. Let's go back to our instruction sheet. Now we're going to select the paragraph following a message from the President and set the left and right paragraph indents to 0.4. A message from the President. select this paragraph. And again, I need the paragraph formatting box open. And I want these to be set at 0.4, left and right. And I'm going to say OK. That's all there is to that. Sorry about that. Okay, and we left that selected because our next step involves the same paragraph. So we have to leave the default line style, apply a 1 1/2 point wide border, box border around the paragraph with a shading of olive green accent 3 lighter 80. And if you're on a Mac, this step you're going to have a little hard time with. So if you skip this step and do it on a PC in one of the labs, that'll work. The Mac does not tell you how to find olive green accent 3 lighter. Okay. So we have this selected. I'm going to go to the borders, and I'm going to go to borders and shading. So I want to select box. That's right here. And I'm going to go to 1 1/2 point. Then I'm going to switch over to shading. And I'm going to go to solid, and I want to pick my color. And then as you mouse over these colors, it tells you what they are. You see where it says olive green accent 3 lighter 80? You can't tell where that is on a Mac, right? So that one particular step you can do on a PC in the library. So you select that and say OK. And you can see it's a very light shade of gray, or excuse me, olive green there, right? And that's worth 10 points. Okay. So we're going on to the next step, step 10. Select the list of commonly stolen items from under property safety. I think I have one too many cups of coffee. Beginning with MP3 players and ending with credit cards, and apply the small square bullet style. The small square bullet can be found in Wingdings font, character code 167. So again, this is one of those obscure tasks that you're going to do, but when you're creating a list in any document that you might create, you may want to use a very specific bullet, whether it's an image of something you have that applies to the document very, very specifically, and this is how you would go about doing that. So I selected starting at the bottom because it's important that when we select this, we start right at the very back of credit cards, because if you select too much space, if you're coming down, you might select another line. It is really going to make your list, when you're done, look not correct. It won't look right. So we're going to select list. Under bullet library, we're going to go to define new bullet. So bullet character, here we have choices of symbol, picture, or font. I'm going to pick symbol. They told us they want us to use something done under Wingdings, so I'm going to go to Wingdings. Now you can go through here and look for the small square bullet. I see there's a small square one right here. Here's another one. This one is 160. You can see that this one's 167. That's the one that they want. But if you can't find it, you can actually just go right here and type 167. Okay, and actually this one you can find in the Mac. It's more difficult because it doesn't allow you to enter a character code. So you either have to search for it, or again, this is a step you could do on a PC. So with a Mac, you can do most of this on your Mac, and a couple steps you might have to do on your PC. So leave this selected. That's the way the list should look right now. And when we go on to the next step, it's using the same list. We're going to change the layout of the bulleted list you created to 3 columns with a column spacing of 0.25. Okay? So with this selected, we're going to go to page layout, columns. Now there's 3 columns on here, but I want to do more than that. So I'm going to go to more columns. I'm going to select the 3, But here I need to change the spacing from 0.5 to 0.25. Then I'm going to say OK. Now you can see this is how your list is supposed to look right here. Now there could be a problem with your list, and if the word credit cards is separated or not correct, you're probably going to have to do this. It takes a couple times, because if you select an extra space or two at the end or another line, it's going to make your list look not correct. Okay, so now we're going to move on to step 12. Under personal safety, create a numbered list beginning with trust your instinct through as quickly as possible. So let's go there. Let's try to go there. Under personal safety, trust your instincts right here under to as quickly as possible. And we want to go back to your home tab, and we want to make this a numbered list, and we're going to select the numbered one right there, right? Okay. So now we're going to modify the default heading to style so that it displays Bookman Old Style font, bold, and italic. Alright, and then we got to apply it to Know Your Surroundings and At Home in the Personal Safety section. So I'm going to start by selecting Know Your Surroundings so it doesn't cause any problems. Right here, Know Your Surroundings. And what we're doing is we're modifying the default heading to style. Right. So here's heading 2 style. I'm going to click on it, but now I'm going to go to modify. And I'm going to modify it so I want Bookman Old Style to display. And what else did it want us to do? Let's see if we can get that up here. Bold and italic. Okay. So bold and italic. And then say OK. And now we want to do this also here at the At Home section. We want to go to heading 2, and it looks like that. Okay. And again, we're going to save it. And we're going to go back to our instructions. Now we want to select the text, a message from the president, and create a bold new create a new paragraph style called note, and modify the formatting so that it is centered and bold. It's a paragraphs setting. So we're going to go to I don't know why this Word does this when I do this, but it minimizes itself up here, and it's very annoying. Anyway, so a message from the president. Now, here we're going to get this drop down little arrow right here, and it says we're going to create a style based on the selection, and we're going to call it note. Right? And now we want to modify it to be, again, what did it say there? Centered and bold. Okay. So bold, we're going to click bold and centered. Okay. And then say OK. And that's going to change that to bold and centered. And if you look up here under at the top, you'll see you have a new style there. Be careful you don't click on it. Called note, because we just created that. Okay. So that's all set. Now we're going to change the height of the picture at the top of the page to 1.1 and apply the rounded diagonal corner white picture style to it. Okay, so let's go back over here and go to the top, select the picture. Now there's a couple different ways to do this. We can go to Format Picture, And over here we have the height of the picture, right? And I can change it there, or as I'm over the picture, I can right click and we can change the size of the picture here, right? But I'm just going to go over here. I think that only works if you're anyway, we're going to change it to 1.1. Okay, and now we want to apply the rounded diagonal corner to it. So you have to mouse over until you find it. And as you mouse over these, it gives you the name moderate frame white. And this one is rounded diagonal corner white, and that's what we want. So we're going to do that and hit save. Okay. Now we want to find the words free of charge on the second page in the second bullet in the section called Common Safety Tips, and apply turquoise to the words free of charge. Here's free of charge right here. And we're going to drop down the highlight list, and we're going to go to this one right here. It's turquoise, and if you mouse over it says turquoise. And hit save. Go back to the instructions. In the second paragraph, under property safety, delete the space between the strange way of spelling success and sponsored. In the last sentence, and replace it with an N dash, another strange character that we're going to use here. Okay, so here we go, right here. So I'm deleting what's in there, and they wanted us to insert an N dash, so you can do it the same way we did it all the other ones. Go to the insert tab, go over to symbols, more symbols, special characters, and there's an N dash right there. Right, and the top one is M dash, and the next one is N dash. So control num and the dash will get it, or we can just go here and go insert, close, and it has inserted it. Now save this. Now we're done. And this one is done. And now we just save the document, which I just did, and close the document and exit Word and submit the document back to Word. So I'm going to close this thing because I don't need this any longer. I'm going to save it. I'm back to my IT Labs, and here's the window where we downloaded it from in the first place, and now we got to upload the complete one. And we have to browse to the document. So where is this document? Here it is right here. Hit open, upload, and it's being uploaded right now, so you finish uploading it. So now it's uploaded. So now you click right here, finish and submit for grading, and then return to course. So now you can see that it's graded and says I passed it. And we can go to grades, and I can view the grade. And I want you to see how to do this, because I've submitted this one a couple times. Okay, and I'm going to go into the Word folder and look at my grades in there, and I got a 96 on this. So I'm gonna, now you can do this on yours, and so if you have an error and you got like an 80 or whatever it is, you can go in and it tells you what you did wrong, and you can redo those steps and resubmit it. Okay, so I'm going to look at all the submissions that I just made for this, and you can see I submitted it twice today. And so I'm going to look at the first one just so you can see. Well, let's look at the second one, the one we just did, and see what I missed on this. And it tells you the points, and it tells you what you got. Right, so under change the font of all the text to Bookman Old Style, I got 3.6 out of 4. I must have missed a couple words. And then I also missed on the default So there's something I did wrong with that section there, right? I missed 3 points on using the 1.1 line style and using olive green accent 3. So I made an error there. That was it. So you can go back and redo any of those sections and then resubmit it and get your full credit for this assignment. Okay? I hope that was helpful.